let's dive into it, okay? I've never felt so lost in my entire life like I do today. It's my birthday today, and I know I'm meant to feel alive and bright, but that's not it for me. Working as a customer care never has never been my dream job, but I needed a stable income. Didn't help though with how rude 95% of customers were sparing. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a black hole that has decided to swallow me whole. My life has always revolved in circles, doing the same routine daily, from getting ready for work to taking the subway and getting burgers with coffee from the shops very close to the office. I'm in desperate need of a spark, something new, something different to brighten up my life. Not to talk about my love life. It seems as if no guy I've encountered interests me. So today, which is my birthday, yay! My friends will let me rest and breathe. Sarah and Lucy decided to make my life a living hell if I don't go out with them tonight. I know they literally expect me to hook up with a guy at the club. It's more like their ulterior motive. Of course, I had to agree since it's the weekend and I've got absolutely nothing doing. Could not decide on what to wear, so I had to ask Sarah and Lucy to come over. Sarah is the free spirit type of girl, while Lucy is someone who doesn't take shit from no one, and also helped me beat up my previous boyfriend. Well, that's definitely a scenario I don't want to go into details about. Yeah, trust me. They finally picked up a black miniskirt and a pink crop top, although that's not really my style, but I decided to go with it. We arrived at the club. It was all flashlights, the sound of music vibrating through the walls, the sweat and heat from the crowd fused the thick hair. Can't really recall the last time I let myself loosen up. Lucy was already at the bar ordering drinks while calling out to us to get ours. I'm not much of a drinker. My friends knew that, so they had to cheer me up into taking my first shot. The moment I took the shot, I felt it burn up my whole body. Liking the feel of it, I decided to go for more. In minutes, I felt the surge of energy and my body was let loose. We danced in the crowd, swaying to each beat that comes up. For a second, I sensed someone staring, but the I decided to push the thought aside, not going to let that ruin my little moment of happiness. All of a sudden, I had the urge to use the restroom. Then I informed my friends before leaving. The restroom was surprisingly easy to find. After some minutes in there, I touched my makeup a bit before leaving, only for me to bump into someone who was clearly staring at me like I had a frog on my head. I was about to apologize and walk out, not until he grabbed my hand, saying he needs to take me home. Why would a total stranger say that to me? I pulled my hand and walked out, getting back with my friends. Decided not to inform them about what happened. Didn't want to get them worked up. I went to get more shots for myself. While at it, the stool beside me was pulled, seeing it was the same guy at the restroom. He caught my attention when he said, "Hey, sorry I acted like a total jerk. I'm James, by the way. What's your name?" he asked. Not wanting to be rude, I replied saying, "I'm Rachel." I could see a smirk playing on his lips like he just got some important information. To be honest, I wasn't in any way annoyed with that. "So, what are you celebrating?" he asked. "Oh, it's just my birthday, and my friend started this." "Oh, I see," he said. Do you want to take some shots with me or dance?" I asked. "Well, I don't dance, and I won't want you taking more alcohol." "Oh, you sound like my daddy." And for the first time, I heard him laugh. It was attractive and is really good looking, 6 feet tall and all. Didn't want to get hooked up with my thoughts, so I got up and started dancing. Surprisingly, he joined me. He wasn't really dancing, but at least he moved. I could hear my friends giggle like their mission has been accomplished. It's been ages since I felt this good. I can't even deny it anymore. James really is someone who has clearly piqued my interest. Let's see how it goes. Sarah and Lucy decided to head out, but I wasn't ready to leave, not yet. They felt bad for leaving me behind, even after I assured them that I did not mind. Clearly, James was happy with my request on staying back. After hours of non-stop dancing, I felt the alcohol taking control of my body. My head felt light and not in a good way. James noticed my uneasiness and offered we leave the club. I didn't have the strength to argue, so I agreed. We got in his car and I gave him my home address. It was silent and I felt really awkward because I knew I wasn't making a good impression. The car came to a stop, and that's when I noticed we've reached my home. I got out of the car and said my thanks. He asked if I needed help with anything, which I said no to. Immediately I got into the rest. Immediately I got into the apartment. I ran into the restroom and started throwing up. Thank goodness I don't have work on Sundays because I'll have a hard time coping. I turned on the shower and washed myself up before going to bed. Didn't have time to make dinner though. Waking up to headache and several notifications on my phone. Not surprising at all, cause the girls want to know what went down last night. First, I made myself soup to help with the hangover and cleaned up the place before having a group call with my girls. Sarah Sarah could not wait for me to speak before throwing tons of questions at me, asking who the guy was, his name and all, trying to know if anything happened that night. I had to scream before they stopped speaking. Finally, I got asking who the guy was, his name and all, trying to know if anything happened that night. I had to scream before they stopped speaking. Finally, I got the opportunity to tell them nothing happened and the only information I got about him was his name. I could see the disappointment on their faces. I immediately changed the topic, asking why they had to leave early. Lucy claimed she received an urgent call from her mom. Well, at least my birthday wasn't boring this time around. Going back to bed, I got a call from an unknown number, which was strange because I've never gotten one before. I was contemplating on not picking up, but I did anyways after I rang multiple times. The voice from the other end sounds familiar. He said, Rachel, this is James. I got your purse and would like to give it to you, but I don't want to show up unannounced at your house. That's when I realized my purse wasn't with me. But how did he get my number? I kept that thought to myself and asked him to come, saying that it was okay. In less than 20 minutes, I heard a knock on the door. Won't deny that I was eager and at the same time embarrassed to see him. I made sure to look good before answering the door, opening the door to see him looking elegant. Will you let me in or you keep staring? He said. I stuttered, saying, oh, come in. You have a nice condo, and how are you feeling? He asked. Just a little headache, and thanks, I replied. Here's your purse, and also I got you things for your hangover. Well, that's thoughtful, I said. I asked if he would like anything to eat, but he declined. Instead, he got up and asked if I had anything doing today, which I said no. He smiled and said, I'll be taking you out then. Get ready in 2 hours. Immediately, he left. I couldn't stop giggling. This is new. After spending hours lazing around, I got ready and got a text on my phone saying he's waiting outside. I left the apartment minutes later, not before I made sure to discipline the butterflies I felt in my belly. He held my hands while I walked down the stairs and led me into his car. I noticed him staring after I got in, so I decided to ask, what's up? You're beautiful, he said. I couldn't control I couldn't control the heat that crept up my face. Thanks was all I could say. His control on his control on the wheel is top notch. We got to the place and was directed to the table where he made reservation. I've never dated anyone who took me out on dates or bother about reservations, but here I am with someone who isn't clearly asking me out, yet taking responsibilities. He asked what he asked what I would like to order. I replied saying I trust whatever you want to get. He smiled and said, good choice. Before our order came, we talked. He said he owns a company that he inherited from his grandfather, and both his parents died when he was 5. I told him that both my parents stayed at a different state, and I came here to get a life. That's how I ended up as a customer care. I like that he wasn't trying to impress me. He just acts normal. The food and wine came, which ended the conversation for us. We ate quietly while he made kind gestures like passing the napkin and filling up my wine glass. Once we were done, we got up and decided to leave. I honestly can't ignore his hand placements, which is currently on my waist. Heaven knows how my body is reacting to this. So, guys, that's for today. And I hope you like and subscribe to get more. Thank you.